Hello. Good morning, friends. This is our third lecture in the subject Business Taxation 1 BCom SEM 5 which subject code is UB05 CCM04, from which Unit 1 definition we have discussed in this unit various definitions about assessment year, previous year, person, SSC, casual income and dividend. All these definitions we have discussed in the first lecture, that means in the part 1. In the second lecture, definition included in the first unit of subject Business Taxation 1, agricultural income. So which income is agricultural income? What is the condition to identify agricultural income, and which income non agricultural income and which incomes are non-agricultural income, that we have discussed in the part 2, that means in the third lecture. Today in part 3, in the third lecture, we will discuss about definitions or concept included in the unit 1 definitions. These are total gross income and total taxable income. So income, taxable income, income tax, all we have discussed in the introductory part, that means in the first lecture. Which income known as income as a point of view of income tax, that we have discussed in the introductory part of the first unit. And how can we calculate income tax? What is the necessity of income tax? How can we calculate income tax? All these we have discussed in the first part, that means in the first lecture. So today we will discuss the 2 points which is remain to discuss in the first unit, total gross income and total taxable income. So total gross income, which concept is given in the in IT provisions. It is the total of taxable income under all the 5 heads before making deduction under section 80C to 80D. In the introductory part, we have discussed that there are 5 types of income or income which is taxable under 5 heads. 5 heads. One is salary income, or we can say income from salary, right? This is the first heads of income. Then income from house property, right? This is the second source of income from house properties. Then income from professions and gains, income from business and professions. And fourth, income from capital gain. Fourth source of income or income which is taxable under the head income from capital gain. The incomes which is not included in these 4 heads is the income taxable under income from other sources. Okay? So these are the 5 heads of income. In the introductory part, we have discussed that the income which is not included in the 4 heads, income from salary or income from house property, income from business or profession, or income from capital gain, right? So this income will be included in the income from other sources, as for example interest, dividend, right? The income for which the SSC failed to give explanation, then or illegal income will be calculated under the head of income from other sources. So in short, I want to tell you that the 5 heads in which the income tax will be calculated. So total gross income means it is the total of taxable income under all the five heads before making deduction under section 80C to 80U. 80C to 80U. Of income from all these five heads, this is the total gross income. This is total gross income, right? There is no any deduction as per the 80 section C in section 80C, 80D, 80G, 80U, 80E. So 80C, D, E, G, U deduction is not making from the income from all these five heads, and total of these five heads income is known as total gross income. So this is the simple concept. Income of a person is computed under various heads which we have written in the board, and before aggregating this income, the losses under various heads can be set up against the income to income so computed. So minus losses, if there is a business losses carried forward, then it will be deducted from the total income, right? So minus losses of business, this will be, or capital loss, if there is capital loss, then also it will be deducted from the income, right? So all these losses carry forward or unabsorbed depreciation minus unabsorbed unrecorded depreciation also deducted from this income. So total gross income means total income from five heads minus losses of business minus capital losses minus unabsorbed or unrecorded depreciation. This will be deducted from the total gross income. Finally, we will get the income which is also known as total gross income. So total gross income, in very short we can say, income from all five heads minus depreciation unrecorded minus losses. So we will get we can find out the total gross income, right? So when deduction under 80C to 80U are made, we get total income, right? Minus this is total gross income, right? Minus less deduction available under section 80C to 80U is equal to, we can find out total taxable income, right? So 80C, as per the section 80C, there are particular deduction available which we will be, discuss in the second unit, residential status, in which the point included general deduction available under section 80C to 80E, 80G, 80E and 80U. So what are the relief or deduction available under section 80C? Some example I want to give you, as for example, LIC premium paid by the SSC or the family member, for the family member or dependent member of SSC, then the LIC premium is available as a deduction under section 80C, right? Same way, provident fund amount is also available as a deduction under section 80C. Principal amount of home loan will be available as a deduction under section 80C. So that in a broad way we will discuss in the second unit, right? But 80C, there are some deduction the SSC can get. Then 80D, mediclaim insurance. You know, when the SSC or person get a mediclaim policy and pay mediclaim insurance premium, then at the end of the year he pay medical insurance premium, and that amount will be available as a deduction under section 80D. Mediclaim insurance will be available as a deduction. Mediclaim insurance premium or Mediclaim premium will be available as a deduction. So from the total gross income, 80C relief or reduction available under section 80C will be deducted. Same way, if the assessee has paid Mediclaim of his own or family member or dependent or his parents, so he will get a Mediclaim insurance premium as a deduction under section 80D, right? So when the assessee has taken Mediclaim policy and he admitted in the hospital, so the hospital bill will be covered by the insurance company because the assessee or the person has taken the Mediclaim policy. There are certain policies, rules, right? And as per the rules and regulation, the amount will be paid by the insurance company to the insurer, means the assessee or the person. In short, we can say here taxation point of view, Mediclaim insurance premium is available as a deduction under section 80D, right? Same way 80E, here in short way we can discuss E. E for 80E means interest paid on a loan taken for pursuing higher education. If the assessee's child's higher education, if the assessee has taken higher education loan from the banking company or other government agencies, and then he will pay the loan interest on the loan taken. So as per the section under section 80E, the assessee will get interest, loan interest under section 80E, right? So it will be also reduction. So here we can say interest on loan taken for higher education, right? What is the meaning of higher education? That we will discuss in the second unit, residential part, residential status, in which one concept or point or topic is included, general deduction available under section 80E. But here we can say from the total income, assessee will get interest, assessee will get deduction under section 80E, interest on loan taken for higher education. Same way 80G minus 80G relief or deduction available under section 80G, G for donation, right? So there are particular rules and regulation for the relief or deduction available under section G. Some institution in which the person has paid amount as a form of donation, then he will get 100% relief of the amount from the total income. So some institution, if the person has given the amount as a donation, then he will get 50%. It may be 100% or it may be 50%, right? Or maybe even 200%. As for example, now we are facing, all over world and our country facing the world pandemic disease COVID-19. So our government relief fund, if we pay or if we give donation in the government relief fund, then we will get 100% deduction from the total income. So from the total gross income, if the person has paid amount of donation to amount of donation in government relief fund, then 100% means if the 5 lakh rupees is given as a donation, then 5 lakh rupees from the total income it will be deducted. So it is available as a 100% deduction under section 80G, right? If there are some other institution, as per example Vishwa Gayatri Trust, Kasur, right? So if the person or followers of this trust has paid donation in this trust, then 50% amount the SSC will get relief under section 80G. There are many institutions in which if the SSC or person has paid donation, amount of donation, then he will get 200% of 200% of amount as a deduction from the total income. As for example, research institution, Indian institution of research, if the person has paid any donation, then double the amount. There are so many institutions listing done by the government of India, and if the person has given donation in this institution, then the person will get 200%, means double the amount. He will get relief or deduction from the total gross income under section 80G. So in other words, we can say in very simple manner, donation will be deducted from the total gross amount under section 80G. It may be 100% amount, it may be donations 50%, or it may be 200%. There may be 75% also. There are some institutions or list prepared by the government income tax department, right? So the person has paid donation in that agencies or institution, then the SSC will get 75% amount. Total donation 75% amount will be deducted from the total gross income, and finally he will find out the taxable income. 80G, then 80U under section 80U. This is also available as a total incomes deductions. So 80U means physical disabilities, right? So if the person is physical disabled, then he will get relief under section 80U, and it will be deducted from the total gross income. So there are some big ideas, big concept included in the 80C, 80D, 80E, 80G and 80U, which we will discuss in the second unit. But here in the definition point of view, we can say total taxable income means total gross income minus less deduction available under section 80C, 80D, 80E, 80G and 80E. Deduction available under section 80C means investment, which will be available up to 1,50,000, which 80C limitation is 1,50,000, right? If the person has paid 1,60,000 insurance premium, so insurance premium is available as a deduction under section 80C, but its maximum limit is limitation is 1,50,000. So 1,60,000 and 1,50,000 is the limit. So 1,50,000 will be available as a deduction under section 80C. If the person has invested or paid insurance premium 1,40,000 annually, so maximum limit of deduction available under section 80C is 1,50,000. SSC has paid 1,40,000. So 1,40,000 is available as a deduction under section 80C. That means if the more investment done by the SSC, which available as a deduction under section 80C, then 1,50,000. Then 1,50,000 is available as a deduction under section 80C. And if donation if investment done by the SSC, which available as a deduction under section 80C, which is less than 1,50,000, as for example 1,40,000, then actual amount invested in it will be available as a deduction under section 80C. So suppose 1,40,000 invested in a GP fund, general provident fund, insurance, right? Then actual amount paid or invested will be available as the general deduction under section 80C, right? So this is the rules. In short, we can say total gross income means income received from the all heads. There are, once again I repeat, there are 5 heads: income from salary, income from house property, income from business and profession, income from capital gain, and the income which is not included in all these 4 heads. This is income which will be included in the 5th head, income from other sources. So total of all these 5 heads income total will be known as total gross income minus the losses carry forward of the previous year or losses of capital gain will be deducted. Same way, sometime the SSC has not made proper or depreciation or less depreciation provision done. So you know depreciation is affected to the profit. As for example, actually depreciation is 10,000 should be calculated and it should be debited to profit and loss account. But suppose SSC has debited only 7,000 depreciation to profit and loss account, means the SSC has less depreciation calculated and it is debited to profit and loss account. So actually 10,000 depreciation should be debited, actually 10,000 depreciation should be calculated, but 7,000 only depreciation calculated. So actually 3,000 less depreciation recorded. So unabsorbed, this is unabsorbed depreciation, it will be debited from the income, because there is vice versa relation between the business income and the expenses. If the depreciation less recorded, then profit will increase, so the business income will increase, so it will be deducted from the total income as unabsorbed depreciation. So here the SSC should be debited 10,000 debited to 10,000 depreciation to profit and loss account, but actually calculated by mistake or intentionally 7,000 depreciation to profit and loss account. So 3,000 unabsorbed depreciation or unrecorded depreciation, it will be deducted from total income. Right? Same way, sometime there is no intents of the SSC or the businessman, by mistake it is unrecorded, right? So unrecorded debited unrecorded depreciation will also affect the business income, means the profit. You know, profit is the income of business. So depreciation not recorded in the profit and loss account, means in the business account, then profit will increase, so it will be deducted from the total gross income, because total gross income include the business income also. So in short, we can say the unabsorbed depreciation will be also deducted from the total gross income. Total gross income minus deduction available under section 80C to 80U, 80C, D, E, G and U. From the under section 80C to 80U, deduction available which will be deducted from the total gross income. So the total taxable income will be calculated. So here this way the SSC will find out the total taxable income, right? Now as per the income tax rate, the total taxable income will be find out, or total tax will be find out. As for example, suppose 17 lakh rupees is the total taxable income of the SSC. Suppose 20 lakh rupees is the total gross income of the SSC, and deduction available under section 80C to 80U is 3 lakh rupees. So total taxable income is 7 lakh. 17 lakh rupees. So there are particular rate of this to find out taxable income. As for example, see, there are particular rate. As for example, 0 to 2,50,000, there is 0% rate, that means zero income tax, right? 2,50,000 to 5 lakh, there is 5% tax rate. So 2,50,001 to 5 lakh, that means 2,50,000. 2,50,000 is 5%, that means 12,500 rupees is the tax, right? 5 lakh to 10 lakh, right? Suppose, so there is 10% tax rate, sorry, 20% tax rate. So 5 lakh to 10 lakh, that means 5 lakhs on 5 lakh tax is 1 lakh rupees, right? 17 lakh minus up to 10 lakh, there is a 1 lakh 12,000 tax rate. So here 10 lakh 17 lakh rupees is the total taxable income, right? So up to 10 lakh 1 lakh 12,500 is the tax, right? And above income is 17 lakh minus 10 lakh, so 7 lakh rupees is the remaining income, right? So 77 lakh, on 7 lakh 30% tax will be calculated. So 30% of 7 lakh, 2 lakh 10,000, right? So 3 lakh 22,500 will be total tax on the taxable income 17 lakh. Once again I repeat, there is particular tax rate to find out the income tax. If the SSE's total gross income is 20 lakh rupees, and as per the deduction available under section 80C to 80EU, which we have already discussed, total deduction available is 3 lakh rupees. So 17 lakh rupees is the taxable income, right? As per the tax rate, there is a tax at 0 to 2,50,000, there is nil, no tax, right? So 2,50,000 is the tax free income, right? Then 2,50,000 1 to 5 lakh means 2 lakh, on 2,50,000 remain 2,50,000 income, there is 5% tax rate. 5% of 2,50,000 income tax will be 12,500. SSE's total taxable income is 17 lakh. So here third step also calculated, 5 lakh to 10 lakh, right? 5 lakh to 10 lakh, 20% tax rate. So 5 lakh to 10 lakh, that means 5 lakh rupees is the taxable income. 5 lakh, 20% on 5 lakh, 1 lakh will be tax, right? Then above 17 lakh is the total taxable income. Here third step is 10 up to 10 lakh. Above 10 lakh, there is 30% tax rate. So 30% on 7 lakh, right? Because above 10 lakh total taxable income is, remaining taxable income is 7 lakh, right? 17 lakh minus 10 lakh, 7 lakh is the income in which 30% tax will be calculated. So 30% on 7 lakh, 2,10,000. 2,10,000 plus 1,12,000, right? So here tax up to the income 2,05,000, 2,50,000 1 to 5 lakh, 12,500. Income 5 lakh to 10,000, 20%, 1 lakh rupees, and above 10 lakh, 7 lakh rupees, it's 10%, 2 lakh 10,000. So total tax calculated 3,22,500, right? So which income is taxable income is the most important things, right? So total taxable income is total tax is 3,22,500 plus 4% education cess, right? What is the 4% of 3,22,500? So let's do calculation, right? Right, 12,900, right? 12,900. So total tax will be 3,35,400. So the person or SSC who pay the tax, SSC, total income is 20 lakh. I once again repeat, pay attention properly. If the total gross income is 20 lakh, then less deduction available under section 80C to 80U 3 lakh, total taxable income is 17 lakh. Then by following this tax rate, total tax is 3,22,500 and 4% education cess on the tax. So 4% of 3,22,500, so 12,900. Total tax payable by the SSC is 3,35,400. Now suppose the SSC has paid tax in advance, or we can say TDS, right? 3,50,000 suppose, then we can say 14,600 will be received as a refund, right? If the salary person point of view, if we discuss, if the salary person has paid TDS from this salary every month, and total annually TDS paid by the salary person is 3,50,000, and suppose the salary person total gross income, total salary income is 20 lakh, deduction available under section 80C to 80U is 3 lakh, total taxable income is 17 lakh, and by following this tax rate, total tax is 3,22,500 plus 4% education cess 12,900. Total tax payable for the SSC is 3,35,400. And if the SSC has paid 3,50,000 total TDS every month, income tax paid by the salary person. So the annually TDS is 3,50,000, then 14,600 will be refundable. Vice versa, if the 3,30,000, suppose 3,30,000 TDS is paid by the SSC, then 5,400 is the tax, another tax payable by the SSC. If the TDS, in short we can say TDS amount is more than total tax payable, then SSC will get refund, and vice versa, if the TDS is less than total tax, then SSC has to pay refund. So when the SSC fill up the return, then other TDS is more than tax payable by the SSC, then SSC will get refund. Vice versa, if the TDS is less than total tax payable by the SSC, then SSC has to pay tax, additional tax by the fill up challan or other way to the Income Tax Department of India. So this is the concept of total gross income and total tax, total taxable income. I once again draw your attention about the first unit which we have discussed, right? So first unit definition, theoretical portion here we completed, in which we have discussed assessment year. Once again I draw your attention that previous year assessment year is the most important thing. Our previous year is 2019-20 and our assessment year is 2020-21. So every year we have to and every calculation we have to mind that about our previous year and about our assessment year. Same way, what is the definition and concept of person, SSC, that we have discussed. Same way, casual income, which is not regularly income, we have discussed. Casual income is generally edited in the income from other sources. broad way we have discussed in the first part or in the first lecture. So short note type of question will be asked in the exam about the casual income. Then company, what is the meaning of company, dividend, and agriculture income, in that we have discussed in the second part. Agriculture income is the also the main point of our first unit definition. So one lecture taken by me and lecture delivered by me about 45 minutes to about the agriculture income. So agriculture income is also wide concept included in our first topic, unit 1 definition, that we have also discussed. That also we have discussed. Then today we have discussed in the third lecture, part 3, total gross income and total taxable income. This is the important concept when we calculate the income from salary, right? Which we will learn in the third unit, income from salary, which is totally based on example. So what is the deduction available under section 80C, 80D, 80G, 80U, 80E, all that relief or deduction will be deducted from the total income. So this is also one important concept for us. And how can we find out total taxable income? That already we have discussed, that from the total gross income deduction available under section 80C to 80U, it will be deducted, so that we can find out total taxable income. And from the total taxable income, as per this tax rate slab or rate, we can find out total taxable total income tax plus 4% education cess is equal to total tax payable by the SSC or total income tax, right, minus or plus TDS, so that we can find out refund or tax payable by the SSC. So this is the basic concept of the total gross income and total taxable income. So when we discuss about the income received from the salary income, business income or profession income, then all this concept is very important for us. So first unit here we completed which theoretical portion, definitions, but definitions is the most important thing to understand the IT provisions and to properly calculate the income tax of the SSC. We must know the proper concept of the various terms which is included in the IT provisions. So in this chapter or unit, we have discussed the person, then SSC, then assessment year, previous year, casual income, company, agriculture income, dividend, and total gross income and total taxable income. Now let me discuss about the exam point of view. There are 9 definitions, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10. 10 concept or 10 term or 10 definition included in the first unit. So there may be short note type of question asked in the example. Then write short note 1, 2, 3 or write short note 1, 2, 3. 15 marks exam, 15 marks question. So 3 or 3 short note. So 6 short note if you prepare, then any 3 you can write down. Right? From 10, if you prepare more than 6 definitions in a form of short note, you can easily get full marks in the example. So this unit is a theoretical portion, theoretical unit, which is the most important for us to understand IT provision and to find out SSC's taxable income and income tax. So keep in your mind all these concepts, and when we go for next unit, please read this concept again and hear all these lecture. Generally 3 lecture delivered on the first unit. This is the most important thing. So pay attention and hear it clearly so that you easily understand second unit and other unit. Thank you all. लाल दबाव ना